Hi everybody. I hope you guys have printed 1 to 100 or 1 to 10 table program. You guys have done it, I hope. Okay, that means you are able to understand. You have done for the 1 to 10 tables, right? You have printed the table for 1, 2 and 3 for 4, right? Madhu. So you must have used nested for loop over there. Without using nested loops, this program is not possible. So I hope you have done for single table program, right? So I'll be starting from here. I hope you guys can see my screen. You all can see my screen. You all can see my screen, right? Guys, please comment.
Yes, we can see.
Okay, thank you. So now my agenda for today is nested for loop, right? So let me tell you how it works. So as yesterday I told you that the for loop, how for loop works, right? So how the nested for loop will work? Let me check whether I am recording this session or not, otherwise this will create problem. Yeah, it's getting recorded. Now I can come up to this session. Okay, I hope I am audible, and as well as I am my screen can, you guys can see my screen. So I'll be starting how nested for loop works. So first of all, the for loops concepts remain same for each time. Whether how much for loops I am taking, that doesn't matter. How much nested loops are there doesn't matter, right? So first of all, it will come to the assignment part, right? So it will come over here. I value will be 1. Okay, so I value will be 1, so I will be assigned as 1. Now it will first check with the condition whether the condition is true or false. If the condition is true, then only it will come inside, right? So if the condition will true, it will come inside. So it will match 1 is less than is equal to 5. Either 1 should be less than 5 or either the 1 should equal to 5. Any one of them is true, then it means the condition meets fine. So 1 is less than 5, that means condition is true. So it will come inside here in this for loop, right? But there is a rule for nested for loops that inner loop will complete first, then only it will go back to the increment part of the outer loop, right? So it will come to the inner loop. Sorry, consider it as a j, not I. Variable should be j over here, right? It will come inside, right? So j value will be 1. Okay, so j is equal to 1. So j value is equal to 1. First j value got initialized, then it will check whether j is less than equal to 5. Because of j value is equal to 1, so the condition is true. So whatever the code over here will be executed, because it will come inside when the condition will be true. Then what will happen, it will go to the increment part. So j value will be plus plus, j plus plus, right? So if j plus plus is over there, it means the j value will be j plus 1. It means j plus plus means j plus 1, right? So j value will be 2. Suppose I am printing j value here, sys out j, right? So j value will, first time it will print 1, second time it will print 2, again it will go back to here. Until this loop will not complete, it will not go back to outer loop. First inner loop will be completed. So in this way the loop value will be, loop will be printing 5 till 5, right? I hope you everybody can understand a single for loop. So it will be printing till 5. After that 5, suppose the value is 5 now, after running this loop, it will coming here and matching that the condition is true or false. So because after 5 the value will be plus plus, the value will be 6, the condition will be false. So condition, if the condition will be false, then the execution is going to out of this loop, and again it is going to increment this one, right? It will increment this. So I value will be 2, I value will be 2, now I value is 2. Again this loop, again because the condition will be j value is equal to 1 is less than 5, again this loop will be running 5 times. Okay, so when I is equal to 3, then again this loop is going to run 5 times in our inner loop, right? Again when the I is equal to, I value will be 4, again this loop will be running 5 times until the I condition is not getting false, till the inner loop will be keep running. Once the I value will be 6, the condition will be false, then it will be coming out of the loop. So I hope you guys got that how nested for loop works. If you have any query related to it, you guys can ask me. Anybody doesn't have any query related to nested for loop? If you got understand, please. Yeah. Yeah, right. Until the, what I said is until this, first it will come to the outer loop, right? So code execution will be same first, right? So it will come into this part. So let me explain again for you. First it will come to the outer loop, and what happens once it come inside this inner loop, this inner loop will be completed first. I value 1, it came to the j, right? Consider it as j, it will come to the j, and until the j value is not getting false, it will be keep executing, right? It will getting executed only. Once the j value will be 6, it will going back to increment part of this I loop, because this loop was false, that's why it gone back to outer loop. And because outer loop is not false yet, outer loop assigned the value, check the condition, then the condition was fine, that's why it was going to execute next time. It was coming over the block. So when it came to the block, the block under this block code was written for another for loop. So that for loop again will work in a same manner as far as it works for the single loop, it will work for the nested loop also. So until this loop condition will not false, this loop will be running, and once this condition will be false, then it will be coming out of this loop, and this I value will be incremented, right? So again I value meets fine, it will again come to inside and again work for this for loop. I hope this makes sense, right? Anybody had any query related to this nested for loop, can feel free to ask me. Okay, now I will be showing a program for this. This was the program. Should I write it again? Okay, I will write it again. I will write a for loop for I is equal to 1, I is less than equal to 3, I plus plus. I have already initialized this I and j, right? So I don't need to initialize here. Okay, once you initialized, you don't need to initialize again and again. For this is the nested one, j is equal to 1, j is less than is equal to whatever value I want to give. Suppose I give 4, j plus plus, sys out, control space, so it will doing that. Suppose I print a star. But before that, before explaining this, I need to know you guys that what this print ln means. If I remove this ln, will it make error? No. This ln was just responsible for changing the line, right? So now I have not changed the line, so I don't want to that my line, suppose here in console the line will be changing. Let me run it and show it to you. Right, so line was not changed. If I use ln over here, then every line will be a new line, every star will be printed in new line only. Oh sorry, I run it as run as java server, run as java application only. So every time it printing the star in new line, right? So what I should do, just first understand, then I will let you know. First time I value is equal to 1, right? Let me change the line here, so that this will be a better understanding for you. If I don't write something under this println, that doesn't make any difference, just it will be responsible for changing the line. Okay, so let me first do it and then I will explain, so it will be better understanding for you. So what will happen, first I value will be 1, okay, and because it will match with the this condition and this condition will be true, so it will come here, it will initialize j is equal to 1, because the condition will be again true, it will come inside and it will print star, it will print star, right? And how many star it will print? Until the loop is not getting false. First time the j value was 1, that's why it printed 1 star. Second time the j value was 2, condition was fine, then again it printed 1 star. Third time the j value was 3, so again the condition was fine, then again it printed star, right? And fourth time the j value was 4, that's why it condition was fine, because 4 is equal to 4, then again it will comes inside and print star, right? So this 4 star printed. After that j value was fine, the condition was false, that's why it came out of the loop, and here it will go to the next line of code, right? And next line of code says that you should print a space, right? Sorry, line break, you should print a line break, that's why you can see a line break over here, right guys? Again it went to, and how much this 4 stars should be printed, this will be checked by how much time outer loop runs. So outer loop will run 3 times, so this you will get 3 times, right? First time, second time and third time, right? I hope you guys got understand. So in this way, if I am not going to explain how to print this, but if you guys will be able to print this means you got the idea of the nested for loops. I am not going to tell this because this data is available in everywhere. I will make a separate video for that, how to make this pyramids and this how to print like this. I will make a separate video and provide those video to you, but I want that you should build your logic first. Let me give you an idea for that. What is getting printed? Let me do it for 1, 2 and 3 only. So first time it printing 1 star only, and when line got breaks, then it is printing 2 star, and then it is printing 3 stars. How can it possible? It can be possible because the first time the I value was 1, it printed 1 star only, right? Second time I value was 2, then it printed 2 star. Third time I value was 3, that's why it printed 3 star. So how this j can run as many time as I is? Just make it I. You want that this star should be printed only that number of time the number is exactly to I. Suppose I value is 1, then you want that this should be printed 1 time only. So how it is possible? This will be possible if I will assign this I value to j. So this j will loop only that time how that number is I, right? So this loop will be running only I number of times. Okay, so I value is 1, then this loop will be running 1 time and printing 1 star. If I value will be 2, then this will be printing, this loop will be running 2 times, so this will be printing 2 star. So if I value will be 3, the j value will be running till 3 times, so this will be printing 3 star, and same got happening. Just let me run it first. Oh, this line break was there. I want my line break after printing the stars, right? Not at the timeout, every time before printing, because if I will use line here, once it will come to up to j, it will print 1 star, and again it is going to check j, and again it will breaking the line. So I don't want to line break until it print all the stars, so that's why I have done that. To simply do that, you can debug it first. It will, how to debug this? First I value will be 1. I am going to debug it for you. First I value is equal to 1, right? It will check, condition will true, it will come here, j value is 1, so it will check, condition is true, so condition is true, it will print a star. And how many times j will run? I number of times. I value was 1, so next time j value will be 2, so 2 is less than is equal to 1, no, false, that's why it will be going back, and it will increment the I value. I value is now 2. Okay, so j value 1, j should be run 2 times, so j will be printing this star 2 times, and after printing this 2 times, this condition will be false, and it will be coming here and print, and this line is responsible for changing the line, then this will change the line again, and next time it will print 3 times. So no, don't need to learn code, just understand how to write the logic. If there is a, if you are printing a star, you can understand there is a line break over here, right? So once you will not provide the code for line break, so there is no line break will be there. Okay, so if you want to line break, you have to write code for that. The code is not going to do anything by itself, you have to write everything. So if you want line break, you have to write code for line break also. So how to provide line break? Thus just write system.out.println, right? If you will use ln here, so this will be changing the line each time it print stars, but we don't need that. We want line break after the printing of the I number of times. So I number of times will be printed, and then it will come out the loop, and this line break will be used. I hope it makes sense. So Sumit will be giving you many assignments to print these stars. If you face any problem, just go reach out to Sumit, and please, if you are asking for assignments related to printing these stars, go to this Sumit. Sumit is expert in doing this. Actually, he takes college interviews also, so I have left these things far behind, but still, because I have to provide you lectures, that's why I am again going through with those topics. But Sumit is very expert in these, because he goes in colleges and takes the interviews of the college students. That's why he is expert in doing this, right? So maybe he will be taking a class of you guys after completing this Java part, or maybe some other time or before that. Let me know when you guys want to that class. So but I will be requesting each and everyone that please don't ask logic to anyone. Anyone can write logic. First believe in yourself that you can do that, and try that, break your program in parts. Like when I am going to write, for an example, when I am going to write program for printing 1 to 100 prime numbers. So first of all, your agenda should be that you print, you should write the logic for prime number first. So first write the logic for prime number first. So suppose how to break a program, let me show you. So suppose program is write a program to print prime numbers from 1 to 100. So first of all, you need to collect data, what is the prime number. So first of all, you need to know what is prime number. Don't think about this program instantly. If you instantly think how to write, then you will not able to write the code, right? So what is the prime number? First you should know that carefully. Once you get to know what is the prime number, then go for that, how to write logic for prime number. Instantly don't go for 1 to 100. First try to write logic for prime number itself. So what prime number actually says, if number is divided by either from I. Suppose you will run a loop for suppose number is 7, and you run a loop from I is equal to 1, I is less than equal to 7, sorry, not equal to, I is less than 7, because 7 will be not considered, just because 7 will divide itself, right? So I plus plus. So if n modulus I is equal to 0, if remainder is 1, first time here I have to start from 2, not 1 will divide, so you guys have to interrupt me. There was a typo mistake from my side. So 2 3 4 5 6 will divide, because I value will be keep changing, and 2 3 4 5 will be divide this 7, n is equal to 7, and this will be. So this was the logic for prime number. And once this logic completely works, write this code on your first, write this code for the uh, prime number first, and go and run this code in your Eclipse IDE. Once this perfectly works, then only go for 1 to 100. And what you have to do, you just have to run a outer loop from 1 to 100, right? So this will be very simple in that case. If you directly jump to the right prime number program from 1 to 100, you will not able to do this. Okay, so if anybody have any query related to nested for loop program, please feel free to ask, because from tomorrow I will be covering while and do while, and from Monday I will be starting array and string, and this will take 2 classes only, and after that I will be jumping next 3 days to oops part. So that there will be 4-5 days classes in oops, and after that 1 week will be for collection. So in that way you are going to do a lot of assignments, at least 70 to 80 Java programs. And once if you will not able to understand these logic, will not complete this assignment, you will face problem for sure. So first start from logic building, just again resume your coding and write some small codes first, and then jump for the large codes. Just make it at practice. If this practice will keep on, then you will be able to write the code. Now I'll take questions if anybody have. I have not initialized n. Now I have initialized, because I was not writing code in Eclipse. I have just given this pseudo code. I have not written whole code, right? So don't think about this. No, just run outer loop from 1 to 100, right? And divide only from 2. Start dividing from 2, because if 1 you starting from 1 and the number is 1, then number will be prime number, right? So if 1 will be perfectly dividing 1, so the this will not prime, right? But 1 is prime number. This will you only understand once you make this program by your own. Yeah. Outer loop will be running from 1 to 100, because I have to print from 1 to 100. But for that one, whether I should write logic for prime number starting from 2 or 1, this is the question. So I should always write from 2, because if I will start writing logic from 1, the 1 will be perfectly dividing 1. So that means that will not be prime number, but 1 is prime number. So that doesn't matter, we have to write logic from here, we need to know that first. Anybody have any question? Anybody else? So what I have covered till now, in till the day 4th, today is 4th class, right? So what I have covered, I have covered the if else part, switch case, for loop, nested for loop, use a break statement. So these 5 most important topics I have covered. Tomorrow I am going to be cover while and do while loop. After completing this you will be getting 20 to 30 assignments, but please guys ask assignments to Sumit only. Tag your Sumit in your group and ask Sumit, sir, please assign me the assignment. Right, he already have some assignment, and he is also preparing for new assignments. So you can ask whatever assignments I am giving, that are the just part of your class. So you first those complete those assignment, the new assignment will be given only by this Sumit. Okay, if Sumit is not reachable, then only ping me. Okay, so from today only you are going to tag Sumit and forcing him to provide you assignments. But many of you have not joined the Google Classroom, many of you have not joined the Facebook group and just sending message to me, right? First goes to those platform. Actually we have 1 to 2 hour or maybe half an hour, we just go for those platforms and look, and we find nothing over there, right? And we find WhatsApp messages. So if I am free I can reply for that. If I am studying, I just don't see my mobile, so how can you get? But in my laptop, until I don't sleep, those platforms are open. You must have experienced that whosoever have dropped me an email got response instantly. Okay, so this was my agenda for today. What are your assignments? Are these? I will post it to your appropriate Google Classroom platform. And what is the assignment? Write a program to print number from 1 to 10. This is very easy. Write a program to print all even odd numbers between 1 to 100. This is also easy. If else conditional statement will be used inside the for loop. Write a program to print the table from 1 to 10. So first outer loop will be running 2 times, and second inner loop you have to think how much time, how to do that. This very simple program. And write a program to check whether number is prime or not. That's why I have divided this prime number program in 2 parts. First, write logic for prime number. Write a program to check whether the number is prime or not. So I have given an instruction what are the prime numbers. Write a program to print all prime numbers between 1 to 100. That doesn't mean you have to print from 1 to 100 only. You just go and check from 1 to 1000 as much as number you want to increase, and write a program to print these triangles. After this completing this assignment, reach out to Sumit. He will provide more assignments to you, and if you able to complete this assignment, this topic looping will be covered to you. You will have no question related to it, and you will be able to understand everything in depth related to it. So I hope you guys have no question. So I will be closing this video. Thank you.